Hello and welcome to Odds on Ligue Matchday 20. We have a new leader. We have PSG finally on top of the table because in the game of the weekend, Alain, 𝐿𝐵𝐴𝐴 𝐻𝐿 was way better than Lens. But be careful because we have a great game, Strasbourg, PSG, because also we are enjoying this new Strasbourg.
Yes, against a Lille clearly in crisis, but yes, Strasbourg with the new manager, a good victory in a stadium where not a lot of teams are winning, and it's the first test for the new manager of Strasbourg. Meet the Paris Saint-Germain at home. In the first game, we saw a very good Strasbourg, competitive, catch up points, and maybe in La Méno it will be the same.
Let's see, but we expected, of course, to see PSG on top of the table, and now they are there, starting the important games also in Europe. Well, guys, let me know, of course, what you think about this interesting Ligue 1. Also, really looking forward to watching this Lyon-Lille that we have on Sunday with Lyon on fire at the moment. So, let's enjoy this Ligue 1. Let's go on now with the show. Let's start indeed, Alain, with Lens. Le Havre is the game we have on Friday, with Lens, as I said, losing the leadership with the defeat against OM. They were in a really, really good run, and it was only the fourth defeat of the season. Le Havre, on the other hand, getting points here and there. Drew with Monaco and Rennes, so positive results. Were you a little bit disappointed by the role of Lens in the Velodrome?
Yes, probably about the aggressivity of the ambition. I wait something more about Lens with the ambition. We saw the version of Olympique de Marseille against Liverpool 3 days before, and that one is called experience and management of the game, the key moment of the game, the determination in the last 20 meters, and the management of the key moment of the game. I think Lens must to improve that fact. The title was not the objective for Lens. Champions League was not the objective at the beginning of the season, and right now, in my opinion, is try to do to zoom more point as possible and try to go back to the champions. And that one, sincerely, Lens in champions mean a big success for Pierre Sage, the former manager ex-former manager of Lyon. And right now, his job this week is working about the motivation of the player, because it is a delicate game against Le Havre. After a positive streak, you go back at home against a team really able to don't let you play. Le Havre, since the beginning of the year, no defeats, 3 games, 2 draw, a victory. Is a strong collective. And is a team is needed points, but because they are fighting against relegation. But right now, with 6 points, probably it can be enough to save the category if they conserve that average of points that have since the beginning of the season. Clearly, Lens is favorite, but Le Havre, in my opinion, can disturb Lens. For that reason, I choose double chance 1x with both teams to score, odds 2.15.
Okay, another option here, Smart Bet, is telling you Lens to win the first half. Le Havre 6 points away from Nantes, same points as Paris CFC playing against OM. A great win for Auxerre, also looking to finish this season in the top four. They are looking at the Champions League, where they have an important game against Brugge. We are recording this before that, and I don't know, Alain, if because of this game, OM could not be that reliable playing against Paris in this game.
But the first game at the end of the beginning of the season, was a game with a lot of goal. Now, what are changed is something changed. PFC maybe they try or found some balance, especially without the ball. In offensive way, is a team still to take a risk, but in my opinion, is a little more shy respect to the beginning of the season, when we see a really offensive version of PFC. But in the big match, we saw PFC with a high average of goal. The over 2.5 is still to be frequently in the biggest game. Now, when I pick the Marseille, we saw a good version in Ligue 1, since the French League is back. In Super Cup, we saw a good Olympique de Marseille, in spite of their lose after penalty against Paris Saint-Germain, against Lens, against Angers. In the last two games in Ligue 1, we saw, yes, the Olympique de Marseille we are waiting for, no? A really offensive team with initiative, with a lot of talent in the last 25 meters. Guiri is back. Nwaneri is very good signaling for the team. A lot of options for the 𝗀𝗏𝗿𝗀, and for that reason, in my opinion, it will another big game with a lot of goal, and I choose over 3.75 goals. Odds 3.20. It's a risk, but we must to take risks sometimes.
Yeah, the odds are really, really high, high indeed. And in these relegation spots, we have Nantes, bottom three in the play out. In this case, looking doomed at the moment, 6 points away from Le Havre and Paris, and going to Bretagne, where Lorient won the derby. Massive win against Rennes. They are in really good form, Alain. 4 wins and 4 draws in the last 8 games. Almost the opposite from Nantes. Only 1 win in the last 10 games. And as I said, this 4-1 at home against Nice looked really, really bad.
Yes, it's a Bretagne, it's a regional derby. Lorient, the last 5 games, is the fifth best team with 11 points, only 2 games received. And it was the problem at the beginning of the season. Lorient, when they played away, suffered a lot in the first 3 months of competition. After that, they found the balance away, and when they played at home, is a team consolidated, and is a team major part of his points since the beginning of the season. And yes, for Nantes is delicate. Last 10 games, Nantes is the worst team with less points. And every week we said, yeah, it's Nantes will win. Nantes is maybe can improve. Nantes can be worst, but every week is worst. And right now, 6 point difference to Le Havre, who mark the salvation of the category, is a lot. And now I think that they will fighting against Auxerre and Metz to don't stay in the direct spot to relegation. And yes, the feeling is really bad. It's really bad. For that reason, Lorient arrived better with best feeling. big motivation because it's a derby and the big city, the team from the big city of Bretagne come to play in Lorient. I choose Lorient, winning odds 1.89.
All right, and also on Saturday we have Monaco, Rennes, two teams in really bad form, but especially Monaco, 10th in the standings, winless in the last 5 in Ligue 1, also bad in Europe. Nothing positive, I would say, to say from Monaco. Surprisingly, Alain, they are still favorites for this game, really favorites actually. Odds are 2, because Rennes are also losing their Champions League spot. They are now 5 points away from the top 4 after that defeat that I mentioned in the derby.
Yes, what happened? What happened to Monaco is one of the questions in Ligue 1 right now. To found a victory in Ligue 1, we must go back at the end of November. And when they beat PSG, is totally crazy because the last winning is against PSG after you have 6 games and you don't win any game in Ligue 1, only in Coupe de France, in Lorient and Auxerre, and in Champions against Galatasaray. And yes, in Le Havre, we saw a sad team. A sad team without the motivation needed to try to have the ambition more than try to go to the Champions League. Right now, 12 points the distance from the Champions League. They're nearest to the relegation than the Champions League. And Monaco is built to play in Champions League. And we saw the best version of Monaco in Champions League when they catch, for example, a draw against Manchester City at home. Now, yes, they received Stade Rennais. Stade Rennais, they have, yes, a very bad beginning of the season, a strong October, November, and December, but since the beginning of the year, the feelings started to be a little bad, because against Lorient we saw the version of the summer when Stade Rennais was full of doubt, not so accurate in front of the goal. The fact, I think the fact changed respect to the beginning of the season when they're really poor, is against Lorient the team create a lot. They shoot on the out of the target, and must to improve that. And in Monaco, I think there will be most accurate with a biggest concentration. Monaco will have the Champions League games in the leg, and in my opinion, Stade Rennais can be catch point in Monaco. I choose double chance X2 with over 1.5 goals, odds 2.20.
Really good odds to back the away team. First half result, Rennes is a smart bet for this game, 3.8, really high odds. If you are backing Rennes, also the full-time result is 3.5. I don't know why Monaco are favorites, also playing Champions League and in really bad form. You mentioned how difficult it is for them to reach the Champions League spots, almost impossible, I would say. And the game for this fight is Lyon-Lille this weekend. 4 points between these two teams, and also opposite trajectories, because we have Lyon as one of the most informed teams in Ligue 1, 8 consecutive wins in all competitions, thrash Metz, with Hendrik scoring his first hat-trick in France, and Lille. They lost 1-4 to Strasbourg, 5 consecutive defeats in all competitions, both playing on Thursday in the Europa League. As I said, Alain, completely opposite trajectories.
Yeah. It's the fact, is the title of this game. The first question is how long Bruno Genesio will stay in the bench, because with that average of point, with the feeling since the beginning of the year, it's difficult to trust in the positivity in the relationship between Genesio and his vestry. because yes, the schedule was difficult because they played only against a team who are playing in Europe and a team who is have the ambition and be built to play in Europe like Stade Rennais. But yes, we saw a really poor version of Lille. The atmosphere between fans and the team and the board are really negative. The curious fact is 𝐬𝐭𝐴 can lose his job against his former team, where he born, where he play, and where he was the manager of the young team and the first team. Lyon right now is in a very good form. Lyon found a player who their needs since the beginning of the season, because Hendrik is not only the guy scores 3 goals against Metz, give a lot to the team, and Lyon need that type of player. We saw some different version of Lyon since the beginning of the season. We saw a team known to win 1-0 now with Hendrik, that unlike his offensive powder, high average of goal score. Lyon really favorite. I am surprised about the odds. In my opinion, is value bet, and I choose Lyon winning odds 1.90.
And the next one, Angers Metz. Metz in the bottom of the table, only 12 points, thrashed by Lyon. As I mentioned before, is 6 defeats and 1 draw in the last 7 games. So I guess, Alain, here we should look at Angers to win. Could be a good option. Is 2.15, although also they are winless in the last 3.
Yes, Angers, Metz. Yes, Metz is not the last call, but Metz must to catch point. We saw a Metz with positive streak only during 3 weeks, with the famous 3-game winning against Lens, Nantes, and Nice. After that, Metz go back to the mediocrity, except the draw in Lorient. Yes, the balance is really negative. We saw something in Strasbourg, maybe in the content better, but after against Lyon, you saw playing Metz in this game, and the first things you can conclude is Metz is a team to going back to Ligue 2. The facts are really clear, and now have a reaction against Angers. Angers is a good collective team. They don't start really well 2026, but yes, they have more quality, more the idea of football is clearest than Metz, and they're more competitive, and they're known to what means fighting against relegation. Angers really favorite. I choose Angers winning odds 2.15.
Next game is Nice-Brest. Hallelujah, we saw Nice finally winning games in Europa League and in Ligue 1. So good for them, finally to stay away from the bottom 3. Brest lost to Toulouse and to Lyon in the last 2 games, both with similar points, middle of the table, Alain.
Yes, the effect of 𝐵uel is positive in Nice, except the game in Toulouse, because since he arrived 5 games, only the defeat in Toulouse. First winning in Europe, important key winning in Nantes in the last journey, still in life in French Cup. Yes, is a better moment for Nice. Not a sweet moment, but not a wonderful, but it's a sweet moment. Now the people are more relaxed with the team, the fans, and 𝐵uel try to find his identity, his team, and try to stay far since from the relegation spot. Brest is not a good season for Brest, because in my opinion they start with another ambition. Against Toulouse, we saw the team make another regression with respect to the game in Lyon. Toulouse was most efficiency, better efficiency, and show that when you are the team with that budget, with that standard, how you must to play. Brest is losing his defensive solidity respect to the past, and in offensive way is a team with a poor average of goal score when you have the ambition to go back to Europe. And right now, playing against Nice is difficult, but maybe we can have a reaction about Brest. For that reason, I choose double chance, 1 or 2, with both teams to score odds 2.50.
And Toulouse-Auxerre is the next one. Metz going down, and Auxerre as well. Only 12 points, 4 consecutive defeats after losing to PSG. And Toulouse, Alain, only 2 points away from European spots in great form.
Yes, in the last 5 is the second best team in Ligue 12 points in the last 5 games, and. Yes, I am sincerely, yes. At the beginning of the season, I don't trust Toulouse, but yes, Martinez is doing a brilliant job. A brilliant job every summer. The board sold the best player, but he has idea. He known to integrate the new player. He feel now the player maybe in another league was not the most brilliant player, but is useful to the system. They're working really well with the young, and right now is it's a sweet moment for Toulouse. Nobody asked him to fight for the Europa League or Conference, and he's in the fighting because only 2 points. The last streak is really positive. We can say that about Auxerre. Auxerre still with the same problem, still in a direct relegation spot. In the last game against PSG, against Lens, they only lose with 1 goal difference. That one is good in the content, but with a really defensive mentality. And the biggest problem of Auxerre this season is the poor attack, because it's the poorest attack. Only 14 goals in 19 games. With that average of goal score, is difficult to pretend to save the category. Toulouse really a favorite. I choose double chance 1x with 1.5 goals in the game, odds 1.70.
Okay, I guess even you can go for Toulouse to win in this one is 1.78 in case you want to risk a little bit more. And the last game is Strasbourg. PSG, as I mentioned, PSG back on the top of the table, although with the eyes put in the Champions League. They are playing, though, in a tough game against a team that they couldn't beat in Paris, 3-all, the 17th of October, and also last season they lost in 𝐻𝐵, this new Strasbourg, very dangerous at the moment, won both games, especially spectacular this 4-1 against Lille. Alain, how do you see this one? Perhaps it's one of those games where we can see PSG dropping points.
Is one of the most difficult games for PSG. Historically, in the last 10 years, Strasbourg, include when Strasbourg was fighting for save the category, it was a difficult game always in 𝐻𝐵 for Paris Saint-Germain. Right now is the big test for the new manager of Strasbourg. We saw clearly the identity, we saw a continuity about the way to play. The beginning of the year is really positive. No defeat, still alive in Coupe de France. first in Conference League. Now, yes, when do you need to increase the level? That type of big match is a really good challenge for this category of team. Now, Paris Saint-Germain, in the last 2 weeks, we saw out of Coupe de France, losing in Lisbona, but in the content, the team was better. The team shoot 28 times on the off the target, only 6 on the target, but 28 times, and you lose the game. Yes, so sometimes the football is not the justice, and yes, in my opinion, there will be arrive motivate with high concentration and to try to win this important game, and still to have that average of points to win the Ligue. Clearly, 2-point up respect to Lens is important game. I don't choose 1x2 for this game because sometimes with PSG we saw some games a little strange. I choose over 1.75 goals in the first half because Strasbourg score a lot of goals. They really start really strong, and with space we know PSG odds 2.25.
Yes, we are not seeing a very reliable PSG this season in Ligue 1. 5 games with no wins, 3 draws and 2 defeats. This is because Luis Enrique made it really clear that his goal is to win back-to-back titles in the Champions League. And as we know, they were also playing a lot of international competitions, so the attention was to other places instead of Ligue 1. I think fair enough indeed when you've won this competition so many times in the last years. Well, guys, remember, of course, that we have our tipster competitions for you available completely for free and with the opportunity to make some money. And also check out Rivals, where you can create your own tipster competitions. Alain, let's go with your safe bet.
Lorient not over 1.75 goals, odds 1.39.
In the derby and the ACCA?
PSCOM over 3.75 goals, Lorient not, Lorient winning, and Olympique Lyonnais Lille, Olympique Lyonnais winning for a total 11.49.
Thank you, Alain. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.